as I said before, was attention. I actually divide attention in two components. One is that the lesson should be appealing, and the other thing that the duration also sometimes, no matter what, the appealing part is strong, but the duration, longer the duration, the concentration has, the concentration, we lost the concentration span of the children. Yes. So these days it has to be more precise. The precision part is very important these days. It has to be quick, it has to be more meaningful, and yeah, you have to grab attention no matter what, because we are in a situation where we don't know when the things are going to get normal.
Thank you. This would then lead to a very important point, which is that how do we do assessment in such situation? Because as teachers, we ourselves are not equipped with the skills. So how do you assess the learning, whether every child is partaking, whether they are getting it? So what is the mechanism of feedback and what is the mechanism of assessment in your view?
Okay, I believe I'm not being pessimistic here, but this is something that I have to use a very difficult word for. It's extremely challenging. Assessment in this particular situation of online academics is extremely challenging. I myself have attended online classes of different courses, and let me be very honest, I wasn't very good at attempting all the examinations myself. And I tried to look for other options than just being exactly in the classroom and in the examination atmosphere. So making sure that all of your students are very much good and give all the examinations legally and ethically, rightly, is not possible. It's very difficult. Right. So the only option that is left in my mind is that if you're going to conduct a test, just go for an objective type test. There are different methodologies and techniques available on the internet, like Google Classroom is there, or Microsoft Teams is there, and there are many other testing applications in Android operating systems as well. So you can use them and ask your students to attempt them, but you cannot guarantee that they are attempting all those questions without looking at any other source of cheating or whatever. So this is the reality. I'm afraid I have to mention it here. And the other option that we are left with, and in which we can somehow guarantee that the answers given by the students are completely okay, and he has not made use of any illegitimate means, is that try to interview him online. Try to make a video call, put it on recording, and try to develop an eye contact with him and ask the questions that are somehow of analytical nature. And they shouldn't be traditional questions like when was Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born. The answer to this question is very specific and very easily approachable and very easily writable or mentionable. So the question should be very analytical in nature, so that the true understanding of a student should come forward, so that you can actually examine how much of a learning has been obtained by the student himself. So this is how we can somehow make sure that your efforts are not wasted, that your online classes are actually given some fruit.
Right. So for youth, I think these kind of assessment responses, sir is thinking. Hera, what about early years?
It is difficult. It is difficult. I will second to the thing what sir said, that it is difficult to take on because we are not equipped like that. As we talk about the holistic development, so we are not equipped like that, because in online classes, if we conduct the interviews, some children are not that much confident. Their psychosocial, part is not that much developed. So if one knows everything, but he is unable to say anything in the interview, and he got fail on this. So we are not actually. We have started doing it, the holistic development, but this generation will take 9-10 years to reach to that point. Then, we can do that kind of assessment online one. It's highly, I don't think so that it can be done. Or assessment part is very difficult. But yes, if the lockdown situation is not getting resolved in near future, so we have to promote children because they are getting older. And for that thing, I think the Google Classroom was a very good idea. Other than that, the online assessments which sir was talking about is available. But in early years, we cannot do the assessment part because in that thing, we have to observe the child. As you always taught us, RJ, that we have to observe child, we have to keep the observation thing and then assess the child. So it cannot be done. And every mother will speak good about the, about their children. So we cannot take their point of view in this thing.
Right. So a lot of e-portfolio would work in that way. Now, what three things you could suggest to students to get into this new normal? Because now technological learning or digital learning is a new normal, right? So what three things you'd like to suggest for students to get them ready or readiness for them? And maybe in Hira's case, she could suggest three things to parents, not students, because they are very tender, very young in age. So.
Well, I once again would be acting like a very khadus kind of teacher here because this is something that I've been experiencing for the past couple of days. The one thing that is very much important and that is supposed to be inculcated in the minds of students right here is that you do not have any other option. Unfortunately, this is what it is. This is the only way you can move forward. This is the only way you can be assessed and be awarded a degree or certificate. And this is the only option you can avail. So just come online and attend the classes and be used to of coming online and doing things on the computer or in front of your mobile screen. The second thing is that try to make sure that your students are learning the things that you're teaching them from different others also. Like the traditional method of teaching in our classrooms used to be the one in which we used to provide notes to the students, and those notes did not have any specific particular element of attraction in them. So the only things that were present in those notes were just extempore, and or I shouldn't say extempore, but the huge amount of text and mathematical equations and a little more somehow graphs and equations and charts. But right now, the teacher is supposed to go online and search out for some other options, search out for some other books or research papers or some other video lessons which are very much attractive in nature and which are somehow in a position to guarantee and grab the attention of the learner. And then you can share it with your students, and the students are supposed to look at them and feel attracted to it and then learn them by themselves. So these are the 2 points I believe which students can do. And the third important thing is that we need to keep them involved. Students are supposed to remain attached with the teacher. Once again, it becomes a responsibility of the teacher, I know. And the students are required to be in connection, in contact with their fellows, specifically their teachers, so that the network is not lost. The connection is not lost. Once the connection is lost, everything is lost. So you have to keep them in the loop. You have to keep them in the contact setup so that the network is not broken, so that the kind of learning atmosphere that you have developed is not destroyed. So I believe these are the 3 simple things